Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani, Keshwani. I have been solving data sufficiency problems for GMAT out of this book here, GMAT Review, the 12th edition. It's called the official guide as well, more well known as the official guide, the 12th edition. If you do not own this book already, purchase it immediately. You're going to need it in order to follow my work. The problem that I'm about to solve is the one that you're going to find on page number 273, data sufficiency problem number 3. By the way, before I start solving the problem, if you have not already watched the introduction, you should go ahead and watch the introduction first. The tag for introduction is GMAT-12E data sufficiency intro. Just 12E data sufficiency intro, hyphenated everything. Watch that first. You will get a better idea of what these problems are about and what do these answer choices mean, because I don't want to keep repeating myself or explaining in every single clip, every single video as to what these answer choices mean. But this is the mnemonic device that we use. This is the mnemonic device that we use in order to keep everything straight in our mind. A means only statement 1 by itself. That's important. The word only is the operative word. A means only the statement 1 by itself is enough to answer the question that is being asked. B, answer choice B, means only the statement 2 by itself is enough to answer the question that is being asked. Answer choice C means, if you were to pick answer choice C, what you're claiming is that one needs the information from both statement 1 and statement 2 to answer the question that is being asked. That's what C means. D tells you that when you tried the first statement, you found that first statement was enough to answer what was being asked. And when you tried the second statement, you also found that the second statement was also enough to answer the question that was being asked. Hence D, which indicates the fact that either of those statements are enough by themselves, or rather either of the statement is enough by itself. And answer choice E means that neither of those two statements would do the job. Neither of them possess any information, any worthwhile information that will help you solve solve the problem that is posed, that is being asked there. Let's look at number 3. Enough of the talk. Eventually I'm going to have to stop this thing because, as I said, I don't want to keep repeating myself all the time. But this is only number 3, so I figured I'll do it in the first few. But after a while I'm just going to stop in and start solving the problem. Make sure you watch the introduction. Number 3. In a certain class, one student is to be selected at random. What is the probability that a boy will read? In a certain class, one student is to be selected at random to read. Okay, all right. What is the probability that a boy will read? All right. So they're simply asking you, what are the odds that a boy will be picked? That's all they're asking. What are the odds? What are the odds that the boy will be picked? The very first thing that you do, as soon as you see a data sufficiency problem in front of you, as soon as the data sufficiency problem pops up, get in the habit of doing this thing. This is what you write down: A, D, B, C, E. And this is what I explained in the introduction. A, D, B, C, E. The correct answer choice is going to be either in this family or that family. That's all. So if you find out that A does not work, then you can also cross out D. Similarly, if you find out that B does not work for some reason, you can cross out B, C, and E. And I won't go into the detail as to why. Watch the video, watch the introduction. So we basically want to know what are the odds that a boy will be picked. Let's look at the first statement. See what the first statement says. The first statement tells us that 2/3 of the students in the class are boys. Well, there you go then. 2/3 of the class are boys. 2/3 of the students are boys. 2/3 are boys. Well, there you go. That's pretty straightforward. They just answer the question themselves without having to do any work at all. If the 2/3 of the class are boys, then if one student were to be picked at random, the odds are 2/3 that he's going to be a boy, and similarly the odds are 1/3 that it's going to be not a boy, or to be more precise, a girl. So first statement obviously clearly is enough. As I also explained in my introductions, there are 174. I don't know why I'm digressing like that. There are 174 total questions in this book, data sufficiency questions. In my opinion, the first 50 are quite straightforward. As you can see, there was not much there to do at all. As a matter of fact, in this particular one, actually, there was nothing to do. They tell you that 2/3 of the class is boys. That's your answer. The odds are 2/3 that the child picked at random is going to be a boy. So first 50 are quite straightforward. 51 through 100 is what I would call medium, and 101 through 174, they're quite tricky. So we'll see. Let's look at second statement. So we know that the first statement works. That tells me that the answer has to be either A or a D. We can cross out B, C, and E. Now if we find out the second statement also works, if we find out the second statement is also enough by itself to answer the question, then the answer is going to be D, because D means either. So let's look at what second statement tells us. 10 of the students are girls. All right. Ten of the students are girls. Does that help us? No. Knowing that there are 10 girls in the class tells me absolutely nothing at all about the odds of picking the boy. Now, if they had told us how many boys there are and how many girls there are, of course, it's quite simple to figure out what the odds are. But based on what they give us in the second statement, it doesn't do anything. So the answer is not D, it is A. Answer is A. And that's all, we're done as far as this question is concerned. That's all. Give me a second here. I want to have a little bit fun with this problem. I just thought of something that I'm going to do. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to check the clock in the back. People ask me, why do I always run around in the back of the camera to see how much time has gone by in the clip? Why don't I have something in front of me? Because I keep forget to look at the clock before I start. So I have no idea how much time has gone by. Just give me a second. We are 8 minutes into it. I want to take a couple of minutes and have a little bit fun here. Let's pretend we're going to change the problem. As far as the problem is concerned, we are done. I'm going to start a new problem now, okay? So pretend that the first statement that they're giving you, the odds that a boy will be picked at random is 2/3. Pretend that this is your first statement. This whole thing is your first statement. And this is the second statement. And now question that I'm asking you is, here's the question, I'm going to put it down here. So this is a new problem. This is not the problem. It's the problem that they give you in the book, it's already done. The question I'm asking you is, how many boys in the class? Now what's going to be the answer? Before the answer was D, either of that statement was enough. Let's do this problem. Question is, how many boys are in the class? In the first statement, I'm telling you that if I were to pick a child at random, that child is going to be a boy. Is that enough to answer how many boys are there in the class? No, it's not enough. We need to know how many girls there are. So that statement is not enough. Simply telling me that the odds are 2/3 that a boy is going to be picked does not tell me how many boys there are in the class. It could be any number of boys. So it depends on the composition of boys and the girls in the class. So now, again, I forgot to do this thing. A, D, B, C, E. A, D, B, C, E. We know that the first statement does not work, which means we can cross out A and D. The answer, whatever it is, has to be either B, C or E. It has to be either B, C or E. The correct answer is going to appear from here. Let's look at the second statement. Second statement tells me that there are 10 girls. And always remember, when you look at the second statement, your job is to always remember to erase your memory. Pretend that you never saw this before. Based on what is stated only in the second statement, can you answer this question? If I come up to you and I tell you that in a classroom, there are 10 girls, can you tell me how many boys there must be? Well, I must be insane to even ask that questions. How in the world would I figure out how many boys there are just because you tell me that there are 10 girls? The second statement is also not enough by itself. That tells me that the answer is also not B. Answer has to be either C or E. Either both of them together will do the job, or neither is enough. So let's take a look at it. Let's put them together now. Let's put them together. So we know that there are 2/3 boys and we know there are 10 girls. So what could be the composition? Boys, let's put it like this here. Here's my class, boys and girls. This is fixed. This is fixed. So what should be the number of boys? The fact that there are 2/3 of them. Well, can it be 30? Can we have 30 boys? No, answer is no. Because if we had 30 boys, the odds of picking a boy would have been 30 out of 40. You see, 30 out of the total of 40. That will be 3/4. We told this is 2/3. So we have too many boys here because, actually, yeah, too many boys because the odds of picking a boy is 3/4. 75%. Here it is 2/3. How many boys there must be? If we had, how about 20? Let's try 20. 20 plus 10 is 30, so we have 30 students altogether. And then 20 boys out of 30. There you go. In this class, if there were 20 boys, the odds of picking a boy at random would be 2/3, given the fact that there are 10 girls. So this part that I put in the box that is given to us, this part that I put in the box is given to us. This comes from second statement, and this part, the fact that the odds of picking a boy is 2/3, that comes from the first statement. Putting them together, I arrive at the conclusion that there must be 20 boys in the class. And therefore, in this problem, the answer would have been the fact that we need both of the statements. The answer would have been C. Well, there you go. We have a bonus problem. So the original problem was done. This is I just did it for fun. So that's all. I know, it's pathetic when you start doing things like this for fun. Yes, I went to the doctor the other day and they prescribed a life for me. So I had to go get it. Anyway. I hope you had fun also. Yes, I know. If you found it helpful, I hope you found it helpful. If you wish to get hold of me for personal private tutoring to help you prepare for the GMAT, I do tutor over the internet through Skype. I do tutoring over the telephone. It does work. You just have to try it out. I do session by session, so you're not locked into some long-term contract. You hire me for a session. And then you try it out, and if you like it, you can come back. I also tutor face-to-face. If you wish to get hold of me for any aspect of the GMAT preparation, that is, I also do GRE, that's why I slipped out. If you wish to get hold of me, go to my website at www.for4gmat.com and send me an email. Or you can go to www.keshwaniprep.com and send me an email. Alright? I'll be more than happy to help you. Just send me an email and we'll go from there. Okay, thanks. Bye.